Welcome everybody back to the Patrick Carr Show. Very good to be with you here today. Let me ask you a question here, okay? You ever been driving down the road and you see somebody in a Ferrari, all right? And you see that Ferrari, and if you're anything like me, you rewind 10 years ago. I looked at that person, I was like, that son of a, all right? And I would always look at that person and I'd always think something negative about them when I'd see them in that car. I see somebody who posted something about being in the islands and going down to Mexico and spending a week vacation down there. And I couldn't help but feel jealous. And I also couldn't help but feel a little bit of negativity towards that individual. Maybe it was a little bit of hate, if I was honest, jealousy. There was a lot of combinations, but none of them were good. In fact, I had friends that I would see even just go out for Sunday brunch and I'd be like, man, I wish I could do that, or, whatever it might be. I just feel negative feelings toward that person. And I would see somebody else's happiness and I would then judge my own happiness in the moment against them. And that is a terrible feeling, isn't it? It's a terrible feeling when somebody else, you're comparing your life against someone and you feel like I'm not smart enough, or I don't have the friends that person has, or I'm not good looking enough, or, I don't have this going for me, or man, you know what? I don't have the money that person has, or I don't have the relationship that they have. You look at all these comparisons that you make when you see other people having good times, and you start to look at that and you go, that little bit of anger starts to set in, a little bit of resentment starts to set in. But I want to tell you something today. A shift change in this is that you are meant to do something great in your life. And I truly believe this about each individual. I believe that some people are meant to do things that are going to help other individuals, and they're going to make the world a better place. Some other people are there to help those people help others. But we all are meant to do something great in our life. And I think some of it is just trying to find out what that is. And oftentimes it's in the pursuit of what is something great. So here's what I want to talk to you about today. If you're in that person where you are looking at another individual and you're not happy for somebody else's success, or you don't believe in yourself enough that you can obtain that, then there is an internal issue with you. And I don't want to get that twisted. And so I want to tell you the first principle here, that if you want to truly start to believe in your life that you are meant to do something great, that you have to embody. And that's this. You received what you believe you deserve, nothing more and nothing less. Let me repeat that. You're going to get what you deserve, what you believe you deserve, nothing more and nothing less. So if you believe that you deserve $500,000 a year, and you truly believe that in your heart for the skills that you bring to the table, I promise you're going to find a way to get it. A great example of this would be a drug addict out there on the street, okay? They don't have any money. Heck, you could argue they don't have any resources. But how many of them find a way each and every time to go in and get those drugs, right? I mean, heck, you might sit out there and you've got more money and resources and you would struggle every day right now to get that because it's not important to you. You get what you believe you deserve, nothing more and nothing less. So whatever it is out there, I want you to think, do you truly believe that you deserve it? If you're somebody out there and that guy driving the Ferrari, or the girl driving the Ferrari, or the beautiful vacations and stuff like that, do you truly believe that you deserve that? Or are you more upset because you don't believe your skill set justifies the ability for you to be able to have that life? There's a big distinction that you have to make right there with yourself. Do you believe you deserve more? Okay? And I'm going to tell you this. The best way to start to shift if you believe you deserve more is by actually doing more in your life. That is how you believe that you are meant to do something great. If you're out there right now and you know in your heart that you are doing more than other people in your vertical, whether it be that if we're a media company, if you believe that you are editing better, you are more creative, you are focused more. If you're into the world of fitness, are you putting in the time in the gym and outside of the gym? Are you doing that? If it's in your personal life and in your marriage, you know when you are the one putting in the work to be great. It's when you're lying to yourself that you begin to have a problem, isn't it? It's when you tell yourself, hey, listen, you know what, I think I'm doing something good. Or you tell other people, yeah, I'm putting in the time in the gym, when you know you're not. It's when you tell your wife, hey, listen, you know what, I'm thinking about you all the time, but you know you're thinking about somebody else. That's when you just have a disconnect. And that's where people start to look at other individuals and they start to judge their own perception of themselves against the perception they have of somebody else. And so I want to argue this. If you want to begin to feel great about yourself, don't just talk about doing more, do more. Do more work. Put in the hours. Actually put in the time with whatever that is that you want to be great at. Because when you do, you will look at it and you will say, I deserve more from this. The reason you don't feel like you deserve more is you know in your heart you're not putting in the time, the hours, and the effort that justifies deserving it. You know you're slacking off. You know what you're doing. So if you want to be great and you know you're meant to do something great, then shift the perspective by actually putting in the work. But I'm going to tell you what, doing more is not enough. Doing the work is not enough. Our friend Chuck Toki, or a guy that we work with in the sales side here in the contracting and media business, he talks about perfect practice, all right? Don't just practice. Don't just do the work. Do it perfectly. Do the practice perfectly. If you're in sales out there, what this means for you is that if you're out there and you're practicing your pitch, don't just practice it a little bit here and there. Practice it perfectly. Practice it in the mirror. If you're out there and you're working on your relationships and the conversations you're having with your spouse, give it everything you got. Don't just sit there and be present. Don't just sit there physically. Actually mentally be there with your spouse. Mentally be there with your kids at the game. Don't just sit there on your phone while your kids at basketball practice. Actually watch the practice itself. Being physically present isn't enough to feel like you deserve more in your life, whether it be from your interpersonal relationships or your business. So it's not just enough to do more to feel like you deserve more. You've got to put in perfect practice if you're going to feel that way. And then the following thing that you have to do is you put in that perfect practice, but you can't do it once. It has to be over an extended period of time. And here's the problem with practice. Here's the problem with doing the work, is that oftentimes there's no foreseeable end or exit to what you're going to do. The greatest things in life don't have a place where you stop. There's not some line that's a touchdown line like it is in sports. You may not even be guaranteed success by the work that you put in. I mean, imagine that you put in 20 years of work towards something, but there's no guarantee that you're going to be successful at it. Welcome to trying to do great things in life. How many people, the story of whether it be a gladiator or whether it be, some sports athlete, what do we love in America? A comeback story, don't we? Imagine if that person would have given up early. They just would have said, you know what? There's no foreseeable guarantee for this thing to win. I'm just going to mail it in. I've given 20 years of effort. I'm done with this thing right now. No, I'm going to argue this for you, okay? Put in enough work. Put in the time. And here's when you know you're doing it right, is when other people are telling you to take it easy. When other people are telling you, you know what? It's okay, man. You can stop. You can stop running. You can stop doing this. Hey, you don't have to do that. Or why are you working on that day? Or man, just take a day off. It's okay. When other individuals begin to tell you to calm down on your goals, you're moving towards doing something great. You're doing something that other people are uncomfortable with. Nobody in this world is comfortable with excellence. If you need an example of that, go be around somebody who's the best at what they do. Are people comfortable around that person? Or are they trying to act right? They're trying to act different. No one's comfortable with excellence because excellence is a rare thing. I mean, if you sat there and you had to hold a diamond in your hand that was 10 carats, would you be comfortable with it? No, because it's so rare. And so I'm going to tell you this right here. If you are meant to do something great, but the greatness in your life is something you have to chase, just because you have something that you can do, just because you have potential that you have in your life doesn't mean you're going to go ahead and achieve a damn thing. To just imagine a life, if you can, that you might have right now of just unrealized potential, if that's what you had. And you just didn't do anything with it. You didn't hone the skill. And maybe if you believe in God or whatever your religion is, you have to go before Jesus. And man, God had just given me a sign is all I wanted. And God says to her, man, I gave you 1,000. You had all this untapped potential that you could have tapped into, but you didn't want to put in the work. You weren't present in the moment. You didn't hone the skills that I gave you right there. And so I'm going to argue with you right now that you have something great inside of you, but you have to have a persistence, a perfect practice at it. There are a lot of greatness out there, okay, but it's the people who have the unforgiving, the the will and the grit to go after it day in, day out with no foreseeable end, no foreseeable goal line that they're going to hit, that makes it such a very special and rare thing to have in this world. So you are meant to do something great. You truly are. Everybody in this world is. It's a choice is yours on whether you go and you attack and you capture that greatness with the skills that we talked about right here today. I hope you do. I hope you do it today. I hope you're present. I hope you go attack it with a real veracity today that's going to help bring out that greatness that you already have within you. I'll tell you what, everyone, I've got myself a little pumped up on this one. So join us next time, because we're always going to try to bring you something that's going to make you a better leader, individual person, someone in business, an entrepreneur. And we hope that we're able to do that for you today. If we did, make sure you subscribe to what we're doing right here and hit a like button or comment on some of the stuff you hear here, especially if it's something that was able to benefit your life. We appreciate each and every person here on the Patrick Carr Show, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much.